What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Juggalo972 here, and I want to share something with y'all. And no, this has nothing to do with, anything psychopathic or anything music related. It's actually something I want to share with y'all. I can honestly say that this year, I have kept my New Year's resolution. Last year, I left. I decided to change, to do a career change. Now, as y'all know, I've been doing professional wrestling for 10 years, but that's not my go-to because, as of right now, though, I still work, a 9 to 5. But the place I was working at beforehand, though, was at a university. And I had mentioned this like once or twice before, though, that I used to work in an animal hospital for animal research. Well, now, I decided to leave that animal hospital and then pursue a career in phlebotomy. Now, as of the holidays, let's see, September of last year, that's whenever I started this journey into phlebotomy. I worked at a plasma center. I worked, sometime like on average 9.5 to 12-hour days on a regular basis. I got a really good education, on learning how to perform venipuncture. However, the problem that I had with it, though, the biggest problem that I had with it was it was starting to cut into my time. My time started becoming theirs. And on top of all that, though, I spent the first 5.5 weeks constantly reminding the people who taught me to basically, get me to start, doing more sticks. Learning how to perform phlebotomy, collecting plasma. And the place that I worked at was not... how can I say it, though? I don't want to disparage one place, though. I don't want to try to disparage the place that I worked at, though, but it was not a good place to work at. Long story short, and that place will remain nameless, but the company that I work for, that I did a plasma pheresis at, violated a lot of OSHA standards. On top of all that, though, they also violated HIPAA. If you don't know what HIPAA is, look it up. But yeah, I decided to leave working at a plasma center after about 4 months because, granted, it's a good place to get started, to really pursue phlebotomy, but long story short, there was no real payoff. And what I mean by payoff, there was no real goal that I really wanted to. I had already achieved my goals. Working over there, though, I must have done about over 100 successful sticks while I was working over there. Granted, the management wasn't the best to really, to confide in, but I managed, to learn how to do venipuncture. Now, fast forward to after the holidays. I asked for one thing from my family. One thing. The one thing I wanted for Christmas was to get my certification. And my sister and my mom came together and paid for my classes. And I made a promise to them. And that promise was this: that I was going to pass my certification exam. And that I was going to pass my certification exam on the first try. And I did. I made good grades. I averaged out with an A+ average. I passed my exam, and I believe it was a 400 out of a 500 score out of 120 questions. Out of all my class, I actually, let's see, and the passing was about 350. I found out that after I got my certification, that they increased it to 390. So I think they're really looking to be, really push people to actually know their stuff. And it wasn't easy. It was probably one of the most difficult things I'd ever pulled off. When I told my family about it, though, they were jumping for joy with it. I couldn't have been any more happier. I felt like I actually accomplished something. Like, bam, March, right? Right at the beginning of the year, I accomplished a goal. But I still hadn't been hired anywhere. So for, let's see, about a month and a half, I went to interview after interview, and they weren't looking for people, with a lot of, they were looking for people, with over a year of experience. And I'm not gonna lie, I started, having a real big chip on my shoulder. I was getting really pissed off because, in a place nowadays where a place requires you to have experience, yet no place will hire because no place will give you experience or train you. I was at the right place in the right time when I made my start, in phlebotomy. Right now, I work for a clinic. I work for a really, really, really well-respected doctor here in North Texas. And more so, like right now, I'm learning so much. It's a slow start, but even for a slow start, I never could have been more grateful. And I don't think I have ever set a goal so early on, even before a new year started. And I don't think I've ever accomplished something I don't think I've ever accomplished anything this quickly before. It may have been quick, but I've never accomplished something, like this before either, because I have an associate's degree in computer drafting and design, and I went to ITT Tech. And that place is defunct now. I was there for 2.5 years. And the closest thing I ever got was becoming a robotics operator. Granted, I had a 2-year, I was at a company for 2 years, and I was getting paid really good. But there was no real payoff out of all that, though. It really wasn't. And as my spoiled ass cat over here decides to jump in on the fun, I swear to God, I've never, made it to this kind of level, in terms of dedication. With this career change, I got to tell you right now, this is probably the best decision I've ever made in terms of career. And I'm not going to be wrestling forever. I'm really not. But this is my backup plan. Once I'm done, working in pro wrestling, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be working in the medical field. Heck, I might even go further than phlebotomy. I might even become a medical assistant. I don't even know. See, that's the thing. I don't even know. But all I know is this. I've made a decision to be successful. And you can only go higher from there. Simple as that. Now, my question to y'all is, who here has accomplished something this year that they're proud of? I want to know. Leave a comment in the section below. I want to read your story. Share it. I love each and every one of y'all. Much love. Peace. Be good to each other. And hey, who knows? I could be the one drawing your blood and bringing you back test results for good health. Peace.